Prabhu Kota Gela Charya Thakur. Kota Gela Charya Thakur. Kahamora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Sanatan Kahadasa Raghunatha Patita Pavan Kahamora Bhatta Juga Kaha Kaviraj Juga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Kota Gela Goranataraj Pashane Kuchibo Mata Anile Pashibo Goranga Gunera Nidhi Kota Gele Pabo Gunera Nidhi Gele Pabo Se Saba Sangira Sange Ye Koi Lo Vilas Sangana Paya Kande Narotamoda Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where am I, Raghunath Bhatta and Gopala Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastime, Narottam Das Thakur simply weeps. So we have two living examples of the Chaitanya Charitamrita found in Uddar Ranadatta Thakur and Mahesh Panda. But I also wanted to mention that we have in our midst His Divine Love and Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And some point I wanted to make out on the loudspeaker, and Maharaj, Bir Krishna Maharaj also emphasizes this. He sometimes mentions how we have our hatchet obeisances. This is very important, that when we pay our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, as I hear Maharaj himself, we speak the exact words loudly, or not loudly, but full dandavats, and give, to generate this point, Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Srinyavadi Paskatyadi Starine. So, first we're going to read about the appearance of Srila Mahesh Pandit. These are devotees that we see they are living examples of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is important on this day to honor them. Reading from this book, Sri Chaitanya and his associates, Srila Mahesh Pandit. In Vraja, Mahesh Pandit is Krishna's cowherd friend, Mahabahu. Mahesh Pandit is Mahabahu Saka, one of the Dwadasa Gopal, or 12 cowherd boys. His home, Sripat, was first situated in Masipur across the river from Jirat on the eastern bank of the Ganges. When Masipur fell into the river, the Sripat was moved to Bele Dunga near Sukasagar. Here too, when the Sripat fell into the river, it was moved this time to its present location in Palpara. This last move took place in Bengal year 1334 or 1927 AD. Palpara is situated within the Pachanagar administrative block. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur mentions in his commentary to Chaitanya Charitamrita 1:1132 that this final resting place for Mahesh Pandit Sripat is in Kutal Puli near Chagda. Mahesh Pandit is considered to be a branch of both Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some people say that he was the youngest brother of Jagadish Pandit, whose Sripat is in Jashra. According to this opinion, there were 3 brothers in the family, Jagadish, Hiranya, and Mahesh. Mahesh Pandit Sripat is a small construction in the style of an ordinary residential building. It houses Gaur Nityananda Prabhu deities as well as Sri Gopinath, Madana Mohan, Sri Radha Govinda, and a Shalagram Shila. In front of the temple building is a memorial to Mahesh Pandit, his Pushpa Samadhi. Sri Mahesh Pandit participated in the Chita Dandi Mahotsava, the festival of chipped rice and yogurt in Panihati, after which he followed Nityananda Prabhu to Saptagram. He was present in Kardaha when Narottam Das Thakur came there to pay a visit. With great affection, Mahesh Pandit bade farewell to Narottam Das Thakur and became sad in his separation. Bhakti Ratnakar 8.2220. Mahesh Pandit, an associate of Nityananda Prabhu, resembled him in being extremely magnanimous and devoted to the salvation of all the fallen living entities. In his ecstasies of devotional love, he would dance madly. Mahesh Pandit was a magnanimous cowherd boy of Vraja. In his love for Krishna, he would dance to the sound of kettle drums like a madman. His name is also mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Vrindavan Das Thakur calls him a great soul, Paramahanta. His disappearance day is celebrated on the 13th day of the dark moon, Krishna Triyodashi, in the month of Posha. And this is Sri Udarana Datta Thakur, was the best of the Bhagavats. He served Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet in every way possible. Whenever the Supreme Lord, Nandana, Sri Krishna, adopts the devotional mood and bodily luster of Srimati Radharani in order to become Sri Krishna Chaitanya in the house of Sri Jagannath Mishra in Sridham Mayapur, he is always accompanied by his eternal associates who join him to enrich his pastimes. Thus, Krishna's primary expansion of Prakash, Baladev, accepts the attitude of a devotee as Sri Nityananda Prabhu. appearing in Ekachakra village in order to embellish Mahaprabhu's Leela. He too has his entourage of personal confidantes who descend to this earth to assist him in playing his role. Nityananda Prabhu is Baladev Tattva. He is none other than Lord Shesha, the source of the three Purusha avatars, Mahashankarshan's causal form, or Mula Sankarshana. His chief companions are known as the Dwadadas Gopals, or 12 cowherds. Thus it is stated in the Gorgadesh Dipika 129, Sabahur Yo Vraje Gopo Data Udarana Akyaka. The cowherd named Subahu became Udarana Datta. Udarana Datta Thakur is thus one of the 12 Gopals. In order to assist Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes, he appeared in the town of Saptagram in the year 1481 AD. Saptagram is the Hugla district near the Trishbiga railway station. His parents were named Shrikara and Bhadravati, and they belonged to the gold merchant class. Any caste in which a Vaishnava appears is holy. The earth itself is blessed by the appearance of a Vaishnava, and his or her mother has achieved the perfection of motherhood. Vrindavan Das Thakur has written, quote, Nityananda Prabhu remained a few days in Karda and then went on to Saptagram with his troop of associates. The Lord stayed at the home of the fortunate Udarana Datta on the banks of the Triveni. Completely surrendered to the feet of Nityananda Prabhu, Udarana Datta worshipped him without any false pretense. The entire caste of gold merchants was purified by the presence of Udarana Datta in its midst. Of this there can be no doubt. Chaitanya Bhagavat. Jati Kula Sava Nirataka Janaite Janma Lena Haridase Mlecha Kulite. In order to show that one's caste and family background are completely irrelevant, Haridas Thakur took birth in an outcast family. Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu wanted to teach that a great devotee may appear in any family, in any caste, and so they had some of their devotees take birth in such households. One who takes birth, quote, one who takes birth in a low-class family is not disqualified from performing devotional service, nor is one who's born in a pure, high-class Brahminical family automatically qualified for such service. Whoever engages in the worship of the Lord is a great person. One who does not worship is rejected. This is also from the Chaitanya Charitamrita 3, 4, 66 through 67. Anyone who considers the deity to be nothing but stone, the Guru to be an ordinary human being, or the Vaishnava to be a member of a particular caste or race, who takes the holy water which has washed Vishnu or the Vaishnava's feet and can destroy all the sins of the age of Kali to be ordinary water, who thinks that the name or mantra of Vishnu, which destroys all evils, is the same as any other sound, or who takes Vishnu to be equal to anything other than him, is a resident of hell. This is from the Padma Purana. Anyone who sees a Vaishnava in terms of his material birth is destined for a hellish existence. Subahu took birth in a family of gold merchants, but this does not mean that he was a gold merchant. He was an eternal associate of the Lord, beyond the material qualities. One cannot understand the underlying nature or ontological aspect of the Lord and his devotees by using the gross or subtle material senses. One can only get a superficial understanding of their morphological or external aspect. The true nature of the devotee and the Supreme Lord is revealed to the surrendered heart. If Udarana Datta Thakur is merciful, one can understand his transcendental nature and his divine glories. Amongst devatas, Vishnu is supreme. Only by uttering the name of Vishnu can all of one's sins be burned up, all inauspiciousness in one's destiny destroyed, and auspiciousness gained. A single utterance of the name of Ram equals 1,000 repetitions of the name of Vishnu. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Mano Rame Sahasras Nabis Tuyam Ramanan Varane. O sweet-faced Durga, I take great pleasure in chanting the names of Ram, Ram, Rama, Rama. A single utterance of the name of Rama is equivalent to a recital of the 1,000 names of Vishnu. Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda, Chaitanya Charitamrita 2932. Sahasranam Nam Punyanam Tiriravritya Tu Yatpalam Ekavritya Tu Krishnasya Namaikam Tat Prayachati. The fruits of 3 recitations of the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu are attained by a single utterance of the name of Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita 2933. Even though the name of Krishna and the Krishna mantra are supremely powerful, offenses are taken into consideration in the chanting of Krishna's name. Even the glow of the holy name, Namabhas, can destroy all sins and give one liberation. Nevertheless, if one commits offenses, the benefits of Namabhas are lost. Lord Krishna withholds his mercy from the offensive person. The difference between a sin, papa, and an offense, aparad, is the following. An improper act committed toward a conditioned, embodied being is a sin, whereas a similar improper act committed toward Lord Vishnu or the Vaishnava is an offense. An offense has graver consequences than a sin. Ajamil was a great sinner, but because he had committed no offenses, he was delivered by the power of Namabhas. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu delivered everyone, both sinners and offenders. There are offenses to be considered while chanting Krishna's name. Therefore, simply by chanting his name, the offender does not become ecstatic. But these considerations do not exist where Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu are concerned. So as soon as one chants the name, he feels the ecstasy of love of God. Chaitanya Charitamrita 1:824 through 31. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has glorified Nityananda Prabhu's quality of being merciful to the most fallen in the following words. Quote, Nityananda Prabhu is the avatar of mercy. He is so intoxicated by ecstatic love that he does not discriminate between the good and the bad. He delivers anyone who falls down before him. Therefore, he has delivered such a sinful and fallen person as me. Chaitanya Charitamrita 1.5208 through 9. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has particularly given extensive glorifications of Nityananda Prabhu. The sinful and offensive living beings of this world have no alternative but the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu if they want to be delivered. Even though Nityananda Prabhu is Bhagavat Tattva, he behaves as a devotee. All of his associates are expansions of his mercy. Nityananda Prabhu is said to be the deliverer of the most fallen. His companions seek out even more fallen souls to deliver. In fact, Nityananda Prabhu distributes his mercy to the conditioned souls through his devotees, i.e. Srila Prabhupada. As one of Nityananda Prabhu's closest confidants, Udarana Datta Thakur is called Parama Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the most fallen amongst the most fallen. Thus, any jiva who takes shelter of Udarana Datta Thakur is quickly delivered from his material entanglements and attains the service of Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Prabhu's lotus feet. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes him as the best of the Mahabhagavats, and Vrindavan Das Thakur writes in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, quote, Udarana Datta is a great and magnanimous Vaishnava who has a title to the service of Nityananda Prabhu. From a superficial point of view, Udarana Datta worked as the manager of a big zamindar of Naihati. The relics of this wealthy family are still visible not far from the Dainhat station. The village where Udarana Datta Thakur lived while acting as the manager of the estate was named Udaranapura. Though he possessed a great vast fortune, Udarana Datta renounced all sense gratification, dedicating all of his sense activities to the service of Nityananda Prabhu. Being controlled by the love of his devotee, Nityananda Prabhu enjoyed the foodstuffs that Udarana Datta had cooked. Bhaktera Dravya Prabhu Kari Kari Kaya Ada Katera Dravya Pane Ulati Nachaya. The Lord will grab food from his devotee, but he will not even glance at anything offered by a non-devotee. As Udarana Datta's Sripat in Saptagram, which stands on the banks of the Saraswati River, one can still see the six-armed form of Mahaprabhu that he personally worshipped. On the right side of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a deity of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and on the left side is the deity of Sri Gadadhar Pandit. On another altar are the deities of Radha Govinda and Shalagram Shila, and below the throne is a picture of Sri Udarana Datta Thakur. After Udarana Datta disappeared, Janava Devi made an auspicious visit to his home. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that his brother did not have as much faith in Nityananda Prabhu as he had in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This was the cause of an argument between his brother and Nityananda Prabhu's follower, Meenakatane Ramdas. Srila Krishnadas Goswami, Srila Kaviraj Goswami took Ramdas's side in this argument and rebuked his brother. Nityananda Prabhu was pleased with Srila Kaviraj Goswami just because he supported his devotee. Nityananda Prabhu gave him a vision of himself, the right to live in Vrindavan, and service to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. The conclusion is that if we worship Udarana Datta Thakur, serving him and trying to please him, we will quickly be able to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, through which we will become eligible to attain love for Krishna and thus perfect our lives. In order to attract people, allow them to benefit from Udarana Datta's Sripat, it is necessary to make repairs to the buildings on the site. Through this, people will become aware of his glories and will seek his mercy and become blessed. If one makes an effort to serve, the object of worship will give the commensurate power to serve. In front of the Saptagram temple, a large hall has been constructed, in front of which is a shady and cool terrace covered by a Madhavi creeper. Srinivas Datta Thakur was Udarana Datta's son. Their descendants have spread into many branches and today live in Calcutta, Hooghly, and many other places. Those who have taken birth in this family are doubtlessly very fortunate individuals. We pray that they abandon the superficial, illusory family connection and establish their transcendental relationship with him and take care of developing the birth site of Sri Udarana Datta Das Thakur. Udarana Das Thakur ki jai. So now, we'll read from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the Lord visits Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sorry. Upon seeing the Lord's personal beauty and ecstatic love, Krishnadas was very much astonished. Out of ecstatic love, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Krishnadas, "Who are you? Where is your home?" Krishnadas replied, I am a most fallen householder. I belong to the Rajputa caste, and my home is just on the other side of the river. But I wish to be the servant of a Vaishnava. Today I have had a dream, and according to that dream, I have come here and found you. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then bestowed upon Krishnadas his causeless mercy by embracing him. Krishnadas became mad with ecstatic love and began to dance and to chant the holy name of Hari. Krishnadas returned to Akuratirtha with the Lord, and remnants of the Lord's food were given to him. The next morning, Krishnadas went with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan and carried his water pot. Krishnadas thus left his wife, home, and children in order to remain with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll read the Bengali also. Vrindavane Puna Krishna Pakata Haila Yahantahan Loka Sava Kahita Lagila. Everywhere the Lord went, all the people said, Krishna has again manifested at Vrindavan. Ekadina Akurite Loka Prata Kale Vrindavana Hoite Aishi Karikola Hale. One morning, many people came to Akuratirtha as they came from Vrindavan. They made a tumultuous sound. Prabhu Deke Karila Loka Charana Vrindan. Prabhu Kahe Kahana Hoite Karila Agamana. Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people offered respects at his lotus feet. The Lord then asked them, Where are you all coming from? Loke Kahe Krishna Prakata Kaliya Dahira Jale Kaliya Shari Nritya Kare Pala Ratna Jale. The people replied, Krishna has again manifested himself on the waters of Kaliya Lake. He dances on the hoods of the serpent Kaliya, and the jewels on those hoods are blazing. Sakshat Tekila Loka Nahika Samshaya Shuni Hashi Kai Prabhu Sava Satya Hoya. Everyone has seen Lord Sri Krishna himself. There's no doubt about it. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to laugh. He then said, Everything is correct. E Matatina Ratri Lokera Gamana Sabayashi Kai Krishna Pailama Adarshana. For 3 successive nights, people went to Kaliya Daha to see Krishna, and everyone returned saying, Now we have seen Krishna himself. Prabhu Dage Kai Koka Shri Krishna Dekila Saraswati Elakye Satya Kaila. Everyone came before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, Now we have directly seen Lord Krishna. Thus, by the mercy of the goddess of learning, they were made to speak the truth. Mahaprabhu Deki Satya Krishna Darshan Nija Jane Satya Chari Satya Satya Brahma. When the people saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they actually saw Krishna, but because they were following their own imperfect knowledge, they accepted the wrong thing as Krishna. Bhattacharya Satabe Kahe Prabhu Racharan Agna Deha Yaikari Krishna Darshane. At that time, Ballabha Bhattacharya placed a request at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Please give me permission to go see Lord Krishna directly. Purport. The puzzled people who visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were actually seeing Lord Krishna, but they were mistaken in thinking that Lord Krishna had come to Kaliya Lake. They all said that they had seen Krishna directly performing his pastimes on the hoods of the serpent Kaliya, and that the jewels on Kaliya's hoods were blazing brilliantly. Because they were speculating with their imperfect knowledge, they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an ordinary human being and a boatman's light in the lake as Krishna. One must see things as they are through the mercy of a spiritual master. Otherwise, if one tries to see Krishna directly, He may mistake an ordinary man for Krishna, or Krishna for an ordinary man. Everyone has to see Krishna according to the verdict of Vedic literatures presented by the self-realized spiritual master. A sincere person is able to see Krishna through the transparent via media of Sri Gurudev, the spiritual master. Unless one is enlightened by the knowledge given by the spiritual master, he cannot see things as they are, even though he remains constantly with the spiritual master. This incident at Kaliyadaha is very instructive for those eager to advance in Krishna consciousness. This is a very important point, that we have to take guidance from our spiritual master. Here, these devotees were thinking they were seeing Krishna, but it wasn't true. It was just a configuration. So this is very important, that only a sincere person is able to see Krishna through the transparent via media of Sri Gurudev, the spiritual master. Krishna does not appear in this situation. It's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that appears in this particular time. So when Balabhadra Bhattacharya asked to see Krishna at Kaliyadaha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully slapped him, saying, "You are a learned scholar, but you have become a fool, being influenced by the statements of other fools." Purport: Maya is so strong that even a person like Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who was constantly staying with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was influenced by the words of fools. He wanted to see Krishna directly by going to Kaliyadaha, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the original spiritual master, would not allow his servant to fall into such foolishness. He therefore chastised him, slapping him just to bring him to a real sense of Krishna consciousness. Krishna kene darshan dibe kale kale nija brahme murka loka kare kola hale. Why would Krishna appear in the age of Kali? Foolish people who are mistaken are simply causing agitation and making a tumult. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first statement, Krishna kene darshan dibe kali kale, refers to the scriptures. According to scripture, Krishna appears in Dwapara Yuga, but he never appears as himself in Kali Yuga. Rather, he appears in Kali Yuga in a covered form, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th Canto, 5th chapter, text 32. Krishna Varnam Trishya Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam. Krishna appears in the age of Kali in the garb of a devotee, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who always associates with his internal soldiers, Sri Advaita Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Srivas Prabhu, and Gadadhar Prabhu. Although Balabhadra Bhattacharya was personally serving Lord Krishna in his role as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he mistook Lord Krishna for an ordinary man and an ordinary man for Lord Krishna, because he did not follow the rules set down by Shastra and Guru. Vatulaha hoya I gare rahata vishya Krishna darshan kariha kali ratrayana. Do not become mad. Simply sit down here, and tomorrow night you will go see Krishna. Vrata kale barya loka prabhustane aila Krishna deki aila prabhu tanhare puchila. The next morning, some respectable gentlemen came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord asked them, "Have you seen Krishna?" Loka kahe ratra kaivartya nakate chadiya kaliya dahe matsya mare detija valiya. These respectable gentlemen replied, "At night in Kaliya Lake, a fisherman lights a torch in his boat and catches many fish. Dare haita kai deki lokera hain brahma Kali Era Sarire Krishna Kariche Nartana. From a distance, people mistakenly think that they are seeing Krishna dancing on the body of the Kaliya serpent. Nakate Kaliya Jnana Dipe Ratna Jane Jali Yare Muda Loka Krishna Kari Mane. These fools think that the boat is the Kaliya serpent and the torchlight the jewels on his hoods. People are also mistake the fisherman for Krishna. Vrindavane Krishna Oila Se Satya Hoya Krishnera Dikeli Loka Iha Mrityanaya. Actually, Lord Krishna has returned to Vrindavan. That is the truth. And it is also true that people have seen him. Kintu Kohan Krishna Deke Kohana Brahmamane Stanu Purushe Yaiche Viparita Gyane. But where they are seeing Krishna is their mistake. It is like considering a dry tree to be a person. Purport. The word stanu means a dry tree without leaves. From a distance, one may mistake such a tree for a person. This is called stanu purusha. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was living in Vrindavan, the inhabitants considered him an ordinary human being, and they mistook the fisherman to be Krishna. Every human being is prone to make such mistakes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was mistaken for an ordinary sannyasi. The fisherman was mistaken for Krishna, and the torchlight was mistaken for bright jewels on Kaliya's hoods. Text 109. Prabhu kahe kana paila Krishna darshana Loka kahe sannyasi tumi jangama narayana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked them, where have you seen Krishna directly? The people replied, you are a sannyasi, a renunciate. Therefore you are a moving Narayana, Jangama Narayana. Purport. This is the viewpoint of Mayavadi philosophy. Mayavadi philosophy supports the impersonalist view that Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no form. One can imagine impersonal Brahman in any form as Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Vivasvan, Ganesh, or Devi Durga. According to the Mayavad philosophy, when one becomes a sannyasi, he is to be considered a moving Narayana. Mayavad philosophy holds that the real Narayan does not move because, being impersonal, he has no legs. Thus, according to Mayavad philosophy, whoever becomes a sannyasi declares himself Narayan. Foolish people accept such ordinary human beings as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called Vaivarta Vada. So here again we see Prabhupada smashing the Mayavad philosophy as we're chanting at Srila Prabhupada's Pranam, that he came to the Western world to destroy impersonalism and voidism. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that Jangama Narayan means that the impersonal Brahman takes a shape and moves here and there in the form of a Mayavad sannyasi. The Mayavad philosophy confirms this. Okay, I read that. Actually, an ordinary human being cannot become Narayan as the chief Mayavadi sannyasi. Sri Shankaracharya says himself, Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Narayan is not a creation of this material world. Narayan is above the material creation. Due to their poor fund of knowledge, Mayavad sannyasis think that Narayan, the absolute truth, takes birth as a human being, and that when he realizes this, he becomes Narayan again. They never consider why Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, would accept an inferior position as a human being and then again become Narayan when he is perfect. Why should Narayan be imperfect? Why should he appear as a human being? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very nicely explained these points while at Vrindavan. Text 110. Vrindavane ha ila tumi Krishna avatar, Tomadeki sarvaloka ha ila nistara. The people then said, you have appeared in Vrindavan as an incarnation of Krishna. Just by seeing you, everyone is now liberated. Text 111. Prabhu kahe Vishnu Vishnu iha na kaibo, Jivadame Krishna Gana Prabhu ka kariba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately exclaimed, Vishnu, Vishnu, do not call me the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A jiva cannot become Krishna at any time. Do not even say such a thing. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately stated that a living being, however exalted he may be, should never be compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching protests the monistic philosophy of the Mayavad school. The central point of Krishna consciousness is that the jiva, the living entity, can never be accepted as Krishna or Vishnu. This viewpoint is elaborated in the following verses. Okay? Do we have any comments or questions? I live to be correct if you have anything. Okay. So we'll keep reading. Okay. Sannyasi chitkana jiva kirana kana sama sad aishvarya purna Krishna hoya surya pama. A sannyasi in the renounced order is certainly part and parcel of the complete whole, just as a shining molecular particle of sunshine is part and parcel of the sun itself. Krishna is like the sun, full of 6 opulences, but the living entity is only a fragment of the complete whole. Jiva Ishvar Tattva Kabe Nahe Sama Galadagni Rasi Yaichi Stulangira Kana. All a living entity and the absolute personality of Godhead are never to be considered equal, just as a fragmental spark can never be considered the original form. Purport. Mayavad sannyasis consider themselves Brahman, and they superficially speak of themselves of Narayan. The monistic disciples of the Mayavadi school, known as Smarta Brahmins, are generally householder Brahmanas who accept the Mayavad sannyasis as Narayan incarnate. Therefore, they offer their obeisances to them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately protested this unauthorized system, specifically mentioned that a sannyasi is nothing but a fragmental portion of the Supreme, Chitkana Jiva. In other words, he is nothing more than an ordinary living being. He is never Narayan, just as a molecular portion of sunshine is never the sun itself. The living entity is nothing but a fragmental part of the absolute truth. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda.
Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Akom Vidamaniya Nishesha Shobha Govindam Adi Purusham Purusham Namaham Bhajami Anandani Asa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami
Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham
Hare Purusham. Nam Om Vishnu Pataya Krishna Prasthaya Putane Jimate Bhakti Vedanta Tameniti Namane Namaste Janpati Deve Guruvani Vacha Negile Visesha Shunyavare Masyachare Saturne Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Namo Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaurata Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Dvaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaurata Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaurata Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Jai Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gokinana, Radha Gokinana,
Haribo, I just wanted to say that before we do Shastika, we canceled the Harinam for today because the weather is just too iffy and like a 50% chance of rain. So we'll try next week, and sorry about that. Chaitodarpanam marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripayata Vabada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vichintaya Nayanam Galadrishu Daraya Varanam Gad Gadurdaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Shatsarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishyava Padamradam Rastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatatava Vidadatulam Patomat Prananatastu Saivanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions of living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Ki Jai.